Yeah, we bring reviews of your house. Talk to our dudes of your house. I bring my views of your house. Wrestling truths of your house. We talk to you in your house. We keeps it cool in your house. We keeps it cool in your house. I'm spitting truths in your house.
Yeah. Mark's hating on his fast. Becky Nish on the man. Play you with two like a lice. Household a dangerous alliance. I am an like Cody. And I'm overcoming like Kobe. No, they cannot hold me. Come listen, I'm hosting, critiquing, I'm boasting. This wrestling I'm knowing.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your House, starring Alakan House. This is the People's Podcast. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boy Con, ready to give you that work. When it comes to this professional wrestling business, that is what we do, and hey, we love it. So let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. And ooh, where is the clock? I'm checking the time because last time that I checked, In Your House was the hottest professional wrestling podcast in the Midwest, because we hit them with that work, round the clock. You guys already know what it is. Oh yes, the director is in the house, and in your house for another edition of the Black Awareness Summit, where we break down the issues going on in today's society. The climate is, hey guys, it's not very good. It's real bad right now, y'all. You know, racial tension is heavy out here in these streets, and it's affecting everywhere. So we wanted to do something special here at In Your House, and that is why the Black Awareness Summit is moving on. We're here in episode 5. Hey, once again, I wanted to thank you guys. Take just a quick second to thank you guys, and just so appreciative of all the support. You know, In Your House, one of the top 100 professional wrestling podcasts in the United States on Apple. My God. So truly appreciate y'all for that. Also our Black Lives Matter shirt, still at this moment a bestseller on Pro Wrestling Tees. Thank you so much for supporting the movement. That's what we want to do. We want to educate you guys and let you guys know what the movement is all about, because it's all about understanding. We got to be on the same page, because the change is happening, and the only way the change is going to happen is if we come together and not divide. So all voices are important in this. Everybody's important in this. And the reason I say that is because I went out today, and went to a peaceful demonstration in my own backyard, my own hometown, and it was a good turnout. I got a chance to speak at it, and I spoke my truth, and it was a good vibe, good situation. You know, I stay in a small town, so I really thought there was going to be a lot more pushback, but you know, there was a little bit, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And you know, I had a chance to go out there with some really good people that want change, that want to see something different in our society, and we all came together for the same idea, all for the same mindset, to try to push change. You know, like I said, this racial tension, and I've said it before, you know, we're living in the time of a pandemic, but COVID-19 is not the worst pandemic going on right now. It's racism. That's the worst pandemic that we got going on right now. And that's why the only real vaccine for racism is education, for knowledge. And you have to educate yourself and be willing to open yourself up to change. Or, it's not... I don't see it as you're looking at yourself like, oh, well, I've thought this way my entire life. So if I turn around on it, I'm going to look like a hypocrite. No, you're going to look like a intelligent human being that when presented more facts upon you, you make an educated change in your opinion. And that's okay. That is okay. We all see things from different perspectives. We all see things from different eyes. And for this episode of the Black Awareness Summit, I wanted to bring on a guest that has always visualized things, saw things, and was able to take those moments and turn them into art. Was able to take a moment in time and tell you a story. And that's very, very important, because the storytellers, they're going to be the ones that tell the story the right way. The street poets are the ones that's going to tell the story the right way, because there is no agenda. All they're doing is cutting the raw truth and doing it for the sake of art. And that is really where I've got a lot of my drive from, is to do things for the sake of art, because I saw this man doing it his entire life, and it was an inspiration to me. The only reason that we're even having this podcast right now, we're even having this discussion, the only reason why we are a 5-star podcast listened to in 14 different countries all across these great United States, and right here in Indiana, and I say the great United States, but they ain't looking so great right now. That's why we're having this conversation. And he inspired me. He inspired me to do this. He inspired me to make the music that I make, inspired me to document the times that I live in. And he himself is an amateur, independent filmmaker. I want to say amateur. That's not the right word. Independent filmmaker. He ain't no amateur. And fantastic artist. Really makes me step my game up. And that is independent filmmaker, street poet, urban poet, actor, director. Hey, that's where I got the gimmick from. But he's done all those great things. But the biggest thing that I appreciate being able to call him, besides a director, an actor, an activist, a filmmaker, a musician, I call him my brother, and that's AJ Wone. How you doing, bro?
All right. How are you? I'm glad to be on the show for the first time. It's an honor to see everything that you've been doing, and to even take a step back and choose to deliver a Black Awareness Summit in a time that's so crucial, where we need to have conversation like this. I'm very honored and pleased to be your big brother, but for you to take it upon yourself to use your voice in a time of crisis that we're in is beautiful.
I appreciate that, bro. I really honestly do. It means more than what you know, and that's what we're doing, man. We're just trying to use whatever influence that we have, because it's all a collective, bro. It's all a big collective. The only way we're going to make this hard push is if everybody does their part, and that's kind of what I feel like I'm doing and that you're doing, and we're all trying to make small contributions. You know what I mean?
Right. I found out this past, since George Floyd, and at the end of May, first thing that I did when I saw that video, as I brought my children together, all 4 of my sons, and I asked them, what did they think about it? What did they feel about it?
Yeah.
And they didn't have a reaction that I was expecting or wanting them to have, and
Right.
I realized quickly that they haven't experienced what we have experienced in terms of delivering the experience of being a young Black male in America. I have shielded them and taken them and pushed them away from certain struggles that I've endured and those that my mother has endured, and a lot of our uncles and those before us that
Well,
had
you
to
don't.
endure.
Well, you don't want to see your kids have to go through that stuff, you know.
We don't want to see it.
Yeah.
At the same time, with so much emotion
Mm-hmm.
that was riled up in the moment and seeing what we saw and knowing that it's nothing new to us.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. It's like how much more immune could we be to the fact that we're that expendable?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, and when I realized that my children didn't feel the same way that I did, I've always heard, and we can confirm from that experience, that the race is a social construct. It's a device. It's a device for division, and we all are a part of one race.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So as long as we can divide and keep dividing each other through politics and religion and all of these other classifications, then one can always profess or compete for supremacy over the other.
Yeah.
You see, so it's a real deep time, bro.
It's
a
deep.
Real deep time.
It's so deep, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
that's really why I wanted to have you on, man, because like coming up, you know, we saw a lot of this stuff, but you know, there's been so it's so prevalent now. You know what I mean? Like it's right out there in broad day. And you've been, you know what I mean? You've seen some stuff. You've seen a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. So I can only imagine the outrage that you feel. You know what I mean? You and shoot, I was just, you know, just had our cousin Dr. Akil on, and he was talking about the 1992 LA riots, and I was like, I can't even imagine what AJ, you know, what was thinking in that moment, especially being the visionary that you are. What was like as far as seeing police brutality and things like that, bro? Like, was that the first major time that you saw it, or was it something before that really was like, dang, some shit ain't right?
Right. That was the first time that I had seen it in such a blatant and brutal way.
Yeah.
Watching it on that video, that if it wasn't for George Holliday, it would have never happened. A white man who had recorded that and sent it to KTLA.
Yeah.
I was with my mother that we were going to pick up a video at Video Charles. It was a spot, a black-owned video store, and the verdict had come out, and Charles, the owner, we were watching it on the video, and I said, okay, they got him. We were right at the register about to walk out, and he said, they walked. I said, what? And I looked at my mother, and she just nodded her head, and all three of us, it was Charles, the owner, and the two of us in there. I was picking up the Mac, Superfly, and Cooley High. Those were the three movies. And I was so shocked and stunned in the moment that I just left the ice cream there, and I went home, and my mother and I, we didn't really say anything because she knew how she felt coming up in L.A. in the 50s and in the 60s, and how I felt in the 90s. So we went home. I turned on the television, and they said, oh, here they are over at Florence and Normandy, coming up out of the liquor store there. And I started recording the moment. And I said, look at them, they're going up in and out of that liquor store over there. And that's when just maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, Reginald Denny had pulled up in his 16-wheeler. And we all know the rest of the history there. I did not know how to grasp what was happening because it felt almost as shocking as the Northwoods earthquake, I think, which was in '96. But it's just as impactful as an earthquake because you don't know if this is it for you.
Yeah.
In terms of being approached by the police, in terms of just being out in the street.
Yeah.
You just never know. So it was definitely my first experience in seeing the brutality head on, live and direct, right there on the spot.
That's wild, man. That's really wild.
Yeah.
And now here we are. Here we are, bro. Like, people are out in these streets, bro. They are out here in these streets protesting this, and you're seeing them on all different colors, man. It's heavy, huge protests. You know, there's just so much. There's so much support that's coming out. I mean, these protests, bro. Have you ever seen protests like this before in your lifetime?
No, no. We're in that time now. We are actually in the time of our life, because there's so many we've never before seen. We haven't been in a crisis like this before with this illness, this global and worldwide. And shortly after that, only a few months later, we get the tragedy, the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis by Derek Chauvin. Also, I want to say something that's really important.
Yeah, go ahead.
At this time.
Yeah,
we out there protesting. You see, Black Lives Matter, No Justice, No Peace say their names. I want to also make certain that to your audience, we want to also remember, more importantly, the names of those who committed the murders of the people that were eulogizing. Those folks that were out there memorializing Breonna Taylor, Sean Bell, Oscar Grant. We also want to let people know that Johannes Maserli and Stacey Cohn, Ted Brasino. We have to know the names. Darren Wilson was the cop that killed Mike Brown. We have to know who the people are.
Yeah.
And we have to also put their names out there into the public because they're able to exist after having committed crime, still collect pensions, still pretty much live in a witness protection program because nobody calls their name.
Yep.
You see, we don't. It's hard to apply pressure when you allow those that commit the crimes to just walk free.
Yeah, that's the problem, bro.
So, so when they say their names, we need to say the names of the cops that committed the crimes.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Because they need to be held accountable. I don't even think I'm pretty sure Breonna Taylor's killers are still not arrested. I don't think that they're arrested at this point. And to me, that's wild. You know, so we're seeing these protests, bro. We're seeing these protests. And I just want to let you guys out there know you're going to be listening to this Monday morning, 6 a.m. So put in your house, in your ears, and we're going to educate you and let you know what's what if you so choose to be educated. And we hope that you do. We're seeing these protests here now, bro. And we're seeing small things. It's not enough. And so please don't take it as I'm saying, oh, this is the change that's gonna break there. But it's small stuff, you know? It's small stuff. So you know what really like blew me back a little bit? Just being from the Midwest?
What's that?
Bro, it was when NASCAR decided to ban the rebel flag. That was big around here, bro.
Oh man, I bet it was
so divisive.
Wow.
So divisive.
Right.
Like there's people that like, I'm never gonna watch NASCAR again. You know, I'm never, you know, and you see it in the comments and stuff, and you know, I've had my fair share of arguments. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I believe, you know, I'm
right.
I believe in what the push is right now. I believe in the movement. So, you know, you see that and you see people so upset, and it's like, okay, well, NASCAR was the first, was like that sport that was like, listen, we support our racist fans. We could make this bigger than what it is, but fuck the money. We're going to sit up here and cater to these bigoted fans. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they finally said, enough is enough. And, you know, part of me, bro, feels like some of it is like a reset on marketing too, because now you see all these all these companies coming out and putting together statements, and you've seen it from a lot of companies, but is it just because it's the thing that you do right now? What do you think about that? Do you think they're doing it because it's the thing that you do right now, because silence is speaking volumes? Because I don't think every single company is legit behind the movement.
What you legit see through all the companies and corporations when you go online, be it Amazon, Netflix, you see we stand shoulder to shoulder with the movement, in solidarity with the movement. I haven't heard anything about any economic contribution to anything that's not a nonprofit donation to companies or organizations where we don't know who accounts for that money, where it goes. We have these civil rights Red Cross organizations where it's just ghost direction. We don't know where that money's going. Yeah. But I found it a little funny to me that there was a guy, Ray Cicerelli, the truck racer.
Oh yeah.
That he quit, and isn't he like the Skip Bayless of NASCAR, where he hasn't won anything?
Nothing.
So he quit.
Nothing. He ain't won a doggone thing, and he over here running his mouth. Bro, bye.
Come on, bro. Ray Cicerelli, come on, man.
Nobody's gonna miss you, bro. Like. Nobody. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry. If there's any Ray Cicerelli fans out there, I apologize, but your boy ain't won nothing. I don't think that. Listen, I don't think there is, because people didn't even know who he was until he said that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. If you believe, and there's people that really like they really just blind themselves to what that rebel flag really means to black people. Like, they're like, whoa, it's my pride, my heritage, not hate and heritage. I see that a lot, but it's like, bro, like, if I'm walking up to a courthouse, you know what I mean? And I'm about to enter that courthouse, and I see the American flag and I see the rebel flag right under it. My automatic mindset is like, okay, they ain't gonna do me no justice. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where my mindset automatically goes. So it's basically for me to say that it's crazy. It's crazy some of the things that they've done, but bro, it's just not enough. I know that you saw your boy Roger Goodell over there apologizing, man. We were wrong on this. Bro, what do you think the NFL is really going to do, in your opinion?
What I believe they're going to do is what the NBA is going to do, what Major League Baseball is going to do. Mm-hmm. They have to politicize the moment and make sure that they harness their money. Yeah. They got to harness their money by siding with the so-called movement, and I so-call it a movement because oftentimes these movements are just momentary.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
They don't tend to stick as long as we would like, because it's very useful, and it's an American right to be able to walk out in the street, have your cardboard signs, and yell and chant. But after that, there's let me answer the question. What I think they're going to do is not offer Colin Kaepernick a job, not with the Browns, the Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens. There's always been rumor and talk, and I don't even know, I couldn't even speak on his behalf to know if he was really wanting to play now, because he has such a voice with what he's doing with Know Your Rights Camp and the things that he's doing with Nike, and plus he did take a payout, I believe. He took a payout from the NFL. So, no, what I see them doing is a lot of hokey pokey Super Bowl stuff, and Jay-Z's running that. So there's going to be some heartstrings being tugged.
Yeah.
But it's not going to do anything for the upliftment.
Yeah.
Or police reform, which is the real issue.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing.
So to answer the question,
oh no, please
business as usual. That's what it'll be.
Business as usual. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think? With that being said, what do you feel like? Because I've had some ideas and thoughts. Because I've seen, you know what I mean. I know you've seen it, and I know I've seen it in my lifetime. That, you know what I mean. Us as black folk, we've been known to, we'll tear each other down if somebody's doing good. You know what I mean. We don't want, you know what I mean. We don't build each other up. Do you think that with this whole situation, do you think that will change within the black community? You think that we'll build each other up a little bit more to try to come together? Because if we ain't coming together, things is gonna get a lot worse.
Social media is a whole different beast in this generation.
Yeah.
We have so much access to independently produce content, such as In Your House, Black Awareness Summit. We're not going to get this information. We're not going to get this freedom to speak like this on CNN or Fox News or anything on cable.
Yeah.
So we have power in our resources today through Twitter, through Instagram, through Facebook, and all of these social media platforms. And what I think today is the effort to galvanize the people is much stronger, much more broader than it was in the previous generation. But because of us having such a broad social media platform, we're also more misdirected as well.
Right.
Because of all the subdivisions and all of the classifications and interest groups and all of the different things that politically you have to either support or reject at every turn. Every intersection you hit, how do you feel about this or that? I'm in support of it. What do you feel about this? I'm not really for that. What about this? So constantly being opinionated all the way through your lifetime in this age, and we're just misdirected, and we all need to have more of a common direction of what's needed in order to change things from how they are. We're talking about defunding the police. Where are those funds going to go?
Yeah.
Who are we talking to defund? And does defund mean? I've also heard about just abolishing police altogether. And I think, wow, this is a trip. I think most of us need to really be informed or educated to what the true role of what the police is. The police's role is to protect private property and the rights of the private property. So they're not paid to protect people.
Yeah.
We're under the impression that they're there to keep us safe. They're there to keep the property safe from not being vandalized or burglarized.
Yeah.
The people are not, that's incidental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the fact that you're surrounding the buildings, you're surrounding the residences, you're surrounding any of the institutions that are around there. Their job is to protect that. That's what they're getting paid for. So we have to understand many different things. I have a 5-point idea of the things that we need to be informed with, and it's the acronym of PEACE.
Okay.
PEACE. P is politics. We have to know what is the purpose of Congress, Senate, the House of Representatives, the city councilman. Our cousin is running for office over there in New Jersey.
Yep, absolutely.
So we have to understand it. We have to engage and involve ourselves politically. The second thing, which is really the first and the most important thing, is education. We have to educate ourselves to just simple reading and writing, just oral skills, oral and written ability to be able to speak and express ourselves and our thoughts, where we speak our own mind. A is arts, media, just like what you're doing here in your house. Newspaper, TV, studio. We need to tell our story. We need to speak our mind, express our views, and teach our history, so we don't have to ask permission for our history to be told. C is community, and if we're living in a building, a project, any tenement, any subdivision, we have to know who we live next to. And build some kind of coalition with the people in your immediate neighborhood to form some point of strength and security and safety where you don't seek or need law enforcement to fulfill that need. Right? So then, and then E is environment. We have to also recognize our surrounding, our area. You know, we have to be familiar with the lay of the land. You know, we have to have access to property and get into real estate and be involved in owning and operating some things. You know what I mean? Controlling the environment. So you have those 5 things together, you'll have a peace of mind right there.
I dig it. Yep.
Yeah. That's peace of mind.
Hey guys, this is the director, Con House of In Your House, and this episode is sponsored by Podcorn. Podcorn is a marketplace connecting podcasters to amazing podcast sponsorship opportunities such as host read ads, interview segments, topical discussions, and more. With Podcorn, there is no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on the platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without any exclusivities. You never give up any rights to your podcast, and Podcorn is here to support you at every step to ensure you're protected and compensated for the work that you do for brands. The marketplace mission is to give podcasters transparency, creative control and freedom, and full control of how and when they monetize. So check the show notes on this episode and you will see a link to www.podcorn.com/podcasters. But now it's time to get back to In Your House. And see, that's big right there, man. That's big right there, because I know, like I said, everybody here who's listening now knows, you know what I mean, that you're a wordsmith. You put words together, you tell stories. So I guess this is kind of an interesting question right here. Like, looking back at this, like, how do you think this story is going to be told? The whole year, this whole year, but really, you know, mainly the civil rights movement that's going down right now, the Black Lives Matter movement. How do you think that this story will be told, you know, years down the line, from a filmmaker's perspective, from a wordsmith and a storyteller?
That's an extremely loaded question.
Oh yeah.
That's got about. Oh man, and you know how I get. You know I get winded with my answers, but for the sake of time, I'm going to try to consolidate the answer.
Yeah.
I think what this looks like is what kind of story do you want? A happy ending or?
Oh no, I don't know what kind of
ending
I couldn't tell you
what we going for here. We going for the realistic ending or the fantasy ending? What do we want here?
I mean, we got to keep it all the way funky. We got to keep it all the way funky. So the realistic ending.
We got to keep it funky.
Yeah.
What I think is happening is it's an election year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
Okay, this is an election year, and we're not out of this 2020 yet. You know, this is the first. We started off with Kobe, Gigi, and the 7 other lives lost in that tragedy in that helicopter in Calabasas, and just when you thought it started in such a tragic event, here comes this COVID-19, which turns out that it may have been here and existing and just percolating for months prior to the announcement that it existed here.
Yeah.
From the one person that showed up. I said, no. In February, I was kissing and hugging so many people. I'm sure I had a little bit of COVID.
Yeah.
In my last 30 or 40 handshakes at the film festival. I'm sure of that. But what we have here, man, is we have an election year.
Mm-hmm.
We still have the demands that have yet to be laid in front of the table.
Yeah.
With what we seek to achieve through the protests, be it police reform, be it some type of investment, some type of community investment. We don't know. So the jury's out still on what's going to happen there. We don't know what will happen when Derek Chauvin goes into his trial.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going to be quick, if he's going to walk free. There are also other issues that need to be confirmed. That there were 2 recent hangings in California, in Victorville, California, and Palmdale.
Yep. I heard about the one in Palmdale.
Right. There's so many things that are happening that almost seems like a smear or rubbing in the face of more officer-related killings. Something in Atlanta of a man that was in a Wendy's drive-thru, and that was caught on tape. So there's lots of conversations and justifications and a lot of debate on what's right and what's wrong. And for me to be able to answer the question on what's going to be happening 5-10 years down the line, we got to get out of this year first.
Yeah, that's the truth.
We don't even know what's going to happen with whether I'm hearing people who've never voted in their life are going to the voting booth because of what they've experienced in the past 4 years in Washington.
Yep. We got to do it, bro. We have to do it.
And, oh, yeah, I'm there. But I don't know. I don't know yet. We have to see. Let's weigh this out. Let's see how 2020 ends.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more coming.
Yeah. No, you're right. There's, it is, and there is a lot more coming, man. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts here in this whole, in this whole story, man. It gets into a lot of it. So here's a question that I like to ask, and I've asked it to pretty much every guest that's been on here, and it's this, bro. It's this, like, there's a lot more people, our non-melanated friends, that they want to open up those uncomfortable conversations. They want to talk, you know what I mean? But they're afraid that if they ask certain questions, they might offend us, you know what I mean? And so, but they want to know so they could better understand. And there's a lot, like, I'm seeing a lot of it. I'm seeing a lot of it myself. People are inboxing me, asking me, like, hey, I didn't know, what can I, what, I want to educate myself better. From your perspective, what could the Caucasian people that want to support the movement, that want to help, bring change? Because you got to think, a lot of these white folk, they're sick of it too. They get tired of getting clumped in with racist, So what do you think that somebody that wants to help the movement, that is not, that doesn't look like me or you, they're white, what could they do to help, support the movement?
There's been the romanticization of the word or the number 400 years.
Yeah.
That's 4 centuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 centuries of a system that has been devised to keep non-white folks out of that competition, out of that game.
Yeah.
And today we're in a generation where more people are starting to see, with media being so accessible, with history showing you right there in broad daylight, modern day lynchings as they unfold. What they can do is use their privilege
Yep. Mm-hmm.
To access and grasp any of the decadences or advantages that they receive by default to help a group, a community, your husband, your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yep. You utilize the resources that you come stock with by you simply being you, as Mr. Rogers would say.
Yeah.
just by you simply being you.
Yep.
So you access that. We need to have the conversations. I'm not so much on the conversations. I know everyone has had to have understood this by now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guilt that's been, going around.
Yep, there is.
That guilt is also shielded with arrogance as well. Well, I don't, and it's quickly triggered by conflict.
Yeah.
You see, like, hey, well, I don't really want to have this conversation right now. So you could easily deflect it or go in a different direction when it comes to the heat of race. And race, again, is a social construct.
Yeah.
It is a device. And we have to have discussions solely about educating folks to what the role of the police is, what the role of the 15 amendments are, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, those amendments being written specifically with blacks in mind, that they never made good on it.
Yeah.
You see, there's a lot of rules and a lot of policies and acts that have been passed in the 1800s that are either still on the books, that have not been revised, not been modified, not been amended.
Yep.
And we gotta talk that talk. We gotta talk that shit at the Capitol. Go up there and voice demands and lay things out, because we can yell and scream and rap and dunk and do anything that we want to do, because we have the freedom here to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we don't voice the demands by going directly to the face of those that are in control of the money, in control of the land, in control of the resources, nothing will get done, because we sit back and we mad and we're frustrated and we're hooting and hollering. And again, if you got to hoot and holler and that's the way that you express yourself, have at it. But at the same time, when the hooting and hollering is done, what's the next move? Next move is taking a plan directly up to those that are in power and in positions to make things happen, which would be your local politicians. Because everybody don't get a ticket to go to Washington, D.C. and sit before Congress or Senate. It doesn't work like that. But we have to work locally and politically. I know that's not something that people want to hear. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to say it. But that's the only way, man. That's the only way, my bro. You got to do that. The conversations need to be had with people, but we can hug each other at the end and say, I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know that either. Okay, so things are still going to be the way they are until we step up and enforce the change. You're right.
No, you're right. There's a lot of good points that you put out right there, bro. I mean, you just did, and you're right. I mean, this is probably, in my eyes, you know what I mean? Me being 33, in my eyes, this is one of the most important election years I've ever seen, I've ever been a part of. And I'm like, man, I got to get out and vote. I got to do my part, because if you don't, you know what I mean? If you don't, you wasn't, I know everybody, they don't want to talk about voting. Voting's lame. Voting don't make the change. People are tinkering with the votes, this and that. I get it. But still, just go and do it. You know what I mean? It don't take about a little bit of chunk out of your time, out of your day, out of your month, out of your year. It only comes every 4 years, and if you do vote locally, it comes more often than that. But you still got to do it, y'all, because you got it. It's like bro said over here. you got to know what is going on around you at all times. And I think that the problem, AJ, is that there's a lot of people that, you know, they don't want to look at that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, doing all that work. I got to work 40 hours a week. I got kids to deal with. I got this. I don't got time to sit up here and you know, educate myself in that way. Yo, right now is the time that you have. Listen, y'all guys are out there, you know, quarantining in your homes and whatnot. Yo, this is the perfect time to educate yourself. You got to do it, because we're, you know, we in a, you know, this is a wrestling podcast, but we in a work right now, y'all. We're in the middle of a big work.
That's right.
We're in the middle of a big work right now, and it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So, you know, this panned out to be a really good conversation. You know, we really hashed out a lot of things, and I think we really educated a lot of people and made them understand a few things. It was definitely a different vibe than the other episodes, but that's what I want to go for. I want everybody to hear. No, it's not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. You know,
I know that.
It's in a way of like two brothers that have seen this shit. You know what I mean? In different ways, in different places. You know, predominantly LA, and me predominantly in the Midwest. I mean, we ain't both making this shit up. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like,
exactly.
Systematic racism is real, and it's something that you guys got to own. You guys got to own that privilege. You know what I mean? And use it to help. You know, you can use it to help, and that's exactly what bro was saying right there. So, bro, before we hop out of here, slide out of here, is there anything, is there any last thoughts that you have, anything that you want my listeners to know as far as the movement? And then go ahead and shoot out, if you do so feel inclined to, where they can catch your workout or where they can find you.
My last word is thank you so much for being a voice for the indie and pro wrestling community, as well as feeling the need and the necessity to shift your voice and lend it to the time of this crisis that we're in. We're in a multitude of crises right now, with the pandemic, with systemic racism, with all of what we see. It's a lot of chaos that's going on.
Yeah. And
I'm so fortunate as your brother, and just as a person that really enjoys you. You just have a great character. I love the man that you've become, and I want to take that time just to give everybody the proof and evidence on how much I love my brother. You know,
I love you too, bro. I really do.
Ever since you were a little baby, I already had it in the work. I said, hey, he's a genius. And what you've been doing and what you've done, and the father that you are, the husband, the man that you are, and the entrepreneur and the voice, that's how I want to spend my last words, is making sure that you know publicly. Because I tell it to you all the time, and I know you're like, bro, I know already. Yes, you love me. Yeah, I'm great. I'm this. I'm that. Yeah. All right, I gotta go, man. So I want everybody else to know that. And that's it. My Instagram is Kamaro Sun. That's KIMAROSUN. And that's pretty much all I do right now.
Yeah.
Is I just do that Instagram. But I have a documentary, Diatribe, from the village to the streets, that just got accepted at the Las Vegas Film Festival. That's going to be August 6th through the 9th.
Okay.
So that's going to be a big show. I expect to see you and to bring the family there if you can.
Oh, that'd be great.
But there's a lot of big time information to share.
Yeah.
That, I'll come back on the show and we'll talk about that wrestling, because I have so many things. Yeah, we got so much stuff to talk about there.
Yeah, oh yeah, and we'll like I said, we're definitely gonna get to it. But as you know, I just felt like I couldn't ignore the issues. You know what I mean?
Right. No, these are not issues to ignore right now.
Yeah.
We gotta tackle them head on. because if we don't, then we leave our children double the trouble later.
Yep,
So
you're right.
we got to take care of it right now and see if we're going to be a part of history or if we're going to sidestep it. You know, that's the question. You're gonna be in it, or you're gonna sidestep it, be outside it and underneath it. So we got to get on top of it, and that's what we aim to do. I had a good time here, man.
I appreciate you coming on, bro. You came on, blessed the podcast, kicked a lot of good knowledge that the people really needed to hear. And man, it just thank you for all the, always building me up, bro. Always, you know what I mean? And I don't get a chance to really say this, you know what I mean? I hope you know that it's just, I don't try to put myself over like that, so it's always appreciated. But I always love and appreciate you for building me up and keeping me motivated, you know what I mean, to keep pushing this, form of art that I do, form of media. We've done music together. You film my music video out there in LA, hit record, which is something that I'll never forget. That was a great, fantastic moment, just I appreciate you always pushing, bro. You're always pushing and having the back, having my back. It's always good to have that family member that's like, yo, no matter what you do, I believe in you. Because that pushes you to keep doing it. You know what I mean? That pushes you to keep doing it. And that somebody notices, man. And that's one thing that I've always just, wanted, is just to make sure that people notice what I was doing if I put my heart and soul into it. And I feel like you're pretty much the same way with the filmmaking, exactly the same way. So we're kindred spirits in that sense, that we just want our work to be appreciated and valued, bro. So thank you so much for coming on. It's really appreciated, bro. You bless my podcast, and it won't be the last time that we do it. And I'm letting everybody know out here in front of the household, bro, I love you, man.
That's right. I love you too. It's been a pleasure, and I've been very proud to be your John Cena.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right. I'll be your John Cena.
Hey, guys, this was another great episode. He was my John Cena, but I could always see my brother, but can't see John Cena. But
he's super open.
Yes, man. Oh, man.
He's super open.
I appreciate it. I really do. Guys, that was AJ Wone, independent filmmaker, director, actor, street poet, musician, and guys, my big brother. And this made for another great episode, guys. And we know we had to do it. You guys know that we had to do it. We had to hit you with, let me think about it for a second. Oh, yeah, what is it? Oh, yeah, it is that. Work. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. Guys, most definitely. Guys, keep checking it out. This is the Black Awareness Summit. We got a lot of great guests coming to you guys. Guys, you made us a top 100 podcast on Apple Podcasts in wrestling. We appreciate it so much. Guys, what are you doing? Buy a freaking shirt. That's www.prowrestlingtees.com/in-your-house. Guys, get this shirt. It is the BM. It is a bestseller right now, guys. It is a bestseller, and we are donating to the Minnesota Freedom Fund and also the Bell Project. And guys, we tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, well, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.